Welcome back to the channel. Buckle up, because we're about to take a roller coaster ride through one of the most intense financial events in modern history, the 2008 financial crisis. Ready? Let's dive in. Chapter 1. How the bubble was inflated. In the early 2000s, the housing market was booming. Think of it like a giant carnival where everyone wanted to buy a house. Banks were handing out mortgages like candy, easy to get, even if you didn't have the best credit. This was known as the subprime mortgage boom. It was a party, and everyone was invited. But here's where things get tricky. Many of these mortgages were given to people who might have trouble paying them back. It's like lending your carnival tickets to someone who might not be able to win the prizes. Banks bundled these risky loans into mortgage-backed securities, or MBS, which they sold to investors as safe, high-return investments. To make it even more complicated, these MBS were bundled into even more complex products called collateralized debt obligations, or CDOs. Imagine a giant tower of carnival tickets, with each layer containing different levels of risk. Investors were buying slices of these towers, thinking they were safe bets. Chapter 2. When the party was over. The housing market kept rising until it couldn't go up anymore. When housing prices started to drop, people who had borrowed heavily found themselves with homes worth less than their loans. It's like the carnival booths suddenly losing their appeal, and people started to lose interest. As home prices fell, the value of those mortgage-backed securities and CDOs crashed. Banks and financial institutions holding these products faced massive losses. It was like the carnival operators discovering their prized games were actually worthless. With banks losing money, they became scared and stopped lending. This meant that businesses couldn't get loans to operate, and people couldn't get loans to buy things. This lack of credit caused the economy to slow down drastically. Chapter 3. The aftershock of the crisis. The 2008 financial crisis led to a severe economic downturn. The stock market crashed, businesses closed, and unemployment soared. It was a rough ride for many, with people losing their homes, jobs, and savings. It felt like a massive carnival disaster where everyone was affected. To prevent the entire financial system from collapsing, the US government stepped in with massive bailouts. This meant using taxpayer money to help banks and financial institutions stay afloat. It's like using emergency funds to rebuild the carnival and get it running again. In response to the crisis, new regulations were introduced to prevent a similar disaster. The Dodd-Frank Wall Street Reform and Consumer Protection Act was put in place to improve oversight of financial institutions and make the system more transparent. It's like putting new rules in place to ensure the carnival operates safely and fairly. Chapter 4. Real-life implications, how it affected us. Many people saw their homes lose value, their jobs disappear, and their retirement savings diminish. It was a tough time for a lot of families, with long-lasting effects on their financial well-being. The crisis highlighted the dangers of risky lending, inadequate financial oversight, and complex financial products. It taught us the importance of transparency, responsible lending, and proper regulation in the financial system. Since the crisis, there have been efforts to make the financial system more robust and less prone to such a collapse. The focus has been on preventing reckless behavior and ensuring that the system is better prepared to handle future shocks. So there you have it, a roller coaster of highs and lows that led to the 2008 financial crisis and its aftermath. By understanding this dramatic event, we can appreciate the importance of careful financial practices and robust regulations to keep our economic carnival running smoothly. If you found this breakdown helpful, hit that like button and subscribe for more engaging insights into the world of finance.